Okay, guys. Today, or right now, I guess I should say, we're looking at a compressor pedal by Mooer. It's called a yellow comp, which I guess is a compressor. No battery compartment, which is fine. We got a 9 volt here in the top. Output on the left is there, and input on the right. Little foot switch, sturdy. And we have the amount of compression here. Compressor, we got an EQ, and we have a volume up here on the left. Kind of hard to see the knobs there, the positions, but let's just set everything at 12. And let's talk about this pedal. In fact, is it worth doing that? Doesn't matter, whatever. Let's just let's plug a guitar into it to begin with, and then I'll show you what I use it for, maybe if we get around to it. So let's get the power in. Boom, boom. I ain't gonna play anything. I'm just gonna lean my guitar over there to the right of me. So pretty much it sort of squashes, but it also boosts at the same time. I'm pretty sure you know what compressors do. Instead of having like a really big up and down peak, it sort of squashes the peaks and the troughs and brings it sort of more narrow and more direct. So it's not sort of wafty, I guess. I don't know. Generally, if you come across television programs and you're watching an ad and you're in the other room and you're like, man, that ad was loud. It's not actually the volume of the ad that increases, it's the amount of compression that they put onto the ad. So all the ads are the same volume or level. It's the amount of compression that they have. So, I don't know, random fact. Okay, anyway, so let's have a look. Volume is good, EQ's fine. I mean, it's going to be pretty rubbish to begin with, but you're not really using this pedal as an EQ. I mean, you're probably running an equalizer pedal probably before or after it's compressed. Somewhere in your pedal chain you're going to use it. So let's just have a look. So that's me just flicking a string over there. So we can boost it a little. I mean, it's hard to explain exactly what a compressor does. Okay, so we got compression there. Volume, we actually have a volume control. And EQ. Okay, so anti-clockwise is bass. Clockwise, I guess, is treble. Yeah, that's pretty rubbish, to be honest. So let's just leave that at 12. Okay, however, the way I use it is this. I'll show you. So the only reason I have this is for this little thing that we have in another episode, the little micro drummer. So let me just turn that down. Let's get rid of that. Let's put that into there. Patch cable. And we need power. I'm putting that in the wrong order. Okay. So that's there. Pretty sure. Okay. So when I got everything set up, this little drum pedal here cannot be heard a lot of the times, and it's a bit weak. So I usually have this behind it, and you should see the tangle of leads that are underneath me at the moment. Okay, so this is pretty much why it's on my board. It is to add a little bit of beefiness to this. Let me get the volume. Okay, so let's scroll. Let's get like a I don't know, a rock beat. Okay, so that's with the compressor on, right? Can you see how it sort of squashes the signal? Like it doesn't take up as much space in the mix, if that makes sense, because it's squashed the waveform from like this width and narrowed it and sort of directed it a little bit more. So I usually just use it like that, pretty much. It's just to sort of like beef it up a little bit, and it sort of stops it taking up the whole waveform. It sort of just brings it more into the middle, if that makes sense. Let's just actually check this EQ on this compressor to see if it's any decent. So that should bring out the hi-hats, which it does. So that was the EQ over here, bringing it clockwise. Anti-clockwise should hide the hats, which they are. They're going in the background, which is handy for this over here. Let's bring that back up into the center. And we also have the volume control, so literally turn it completely off. You can adjust the mix of the drums. Now, just like picture, you know, you got all your guitar shit over here on the right hand side. So you can bring that up a bit in the mix. Okay, and that's at 3/4. So by the 3 o'clock position. So that's not too bad. And obviously that adjusts like your ratio of compression. So you can go from having something like this to like a little bit more direct. It cuts through the mix, particularly if you're like practicing over the top and you got like an RC30 or something after this or before it, wherever you want it in your signal chain. But it doesn't do a lot. But it does add like a little bit of fine tuning to what you're trying to do, to what you're trying to accomplish. Just to like, I mainly use it set up and paired with this because I find that like when I'm mucking around, this sort of doesn't stand out at all. So I need to add compression to it. But anyway, that is the Mooer yellowcomp small pedal. I don't know how much it costs. It isn't something that's going to add sound to your thing, but it is something that can help you adjust it. So I'm going to give it 2. Maybe not this one. Actually, we'll give it a 1. We'll give it a 1, just because I know that there are other compression pedals out there on the market that shit all over this, or are better, but for the price and the range and for what it does, it's not going to add an extraordinary amount. I mean, a lot of people, if they're listening to you play, won't know that you have it there. They won't even know that like you spent money to fine tune your sound to like tiny amounts. But what it does is decent. Okay, cheers guys. Have a good one.